Dean Legge here, wrapping up Georgia's 55-0 win over Arkansas State. I am still in California after visiting with some recruits out here, but did want to shift the focus now towards the Notre Dame game. I thought Georgia played pretty well today, honestly. 55-0. I think they scored on 8 of their first 9 drives. Obviously did not allow a touchdown. I don't know what the final stats were for Arkansas State on offense, but they only had 114 yards in the first 3 quarters. So this defense might be the best part of this team. That's the part that's sort of sticking out to me all of a sudden here, is that the defense really just looks stout. It seems impossible to run in the middle. It seems impossible to run in a way. It seems impossible to run in the middle on this Georgia defense. But you start looking forward to Notre Dame here, and I think they're up 7-0 on New Mexico. I've only been able to watch. They've only played once. So in that game they looked okay. I think they looked better than maybe I thought at first, Notre Dame. But Notre Dame's going to have a real challenge coming to Athens for this game. When you talk about Georgia's situation defensively, and now all of a sudden they're getting these cheap scores. I mean, we saw more explosion and firepower this week on the offense, particularly with scores from guys like Dominique Blaylock and James Cook, and DeAndre Swift. At least 2 of those 3 were just screens or very close to the line of scrimmage. I don't think you're going to argue with going 17-22 for 279 yards with 3 touchdowns if you're Jake Fromm. But I mean, this is now they're starting to look like the way you should if you want to win the national championship. They're playing pretty well, Georgia. I mean, you want to talk about particular things, you can, but just from my 40,000-foot view of things, it's a solid team. Is it the best team in the country? They don't have the win to prove that yet, but they will have the ability to go up against Notre Dame, a team that probably might wind up being a double-digit dog in this game. This is not so much about Notre Dame as much as it is about Georgia. Georgia looks really good right now. It looks strong, steady. As I'm doing this, Georgia Tech is losing to Citadel. There's just, Virginia Tech is struggling with Furman. Those days are way beyond this program at Georgia right now. This is about, can they win the national championship? And to me right now, it seems like there's 6 or 7 teams, and 2 of them are going to play next weekend with Georgia and Notre Dame. That thing's going to be cleared out. In terms of prime time, no one's going to go up against that game. Could be a huge number. I don't know if it's going to be 12 million people that watch it. That seems like asking a lot. But it is Georgia who draws a huge audience, and Notre Dame, which can definitely draw a huge audience against SEC teams. But it's going to be an important weekend for recruiting. Stick to Dog Post for that whole thing. If you're not watching our videos on YouTube, please go check them out. Just type in Dog Post on YouTube and you'll see all of them there. But I thought this was a solid effort from Georgia. I wanted to see the way the defense played the entire game. The offense gets cheap scores. DeAndre Swift looks great. In fact, a lot of times Georgia's offensive players look like they were running fast forward compared to what Arkansas State was dealing with. But I thought it was just a really good win. Not like a sort of they looked okay. No, they looked good to me. So 55-0, scoring on 8 of your first 9 possessions. I think that Georgia only punted twice. It's hard to argue with this performance. And next week, or this week, I guess, coming up, Georgia and Notre Dame, really one of the biggest home games in Sanford Stadium history. I mean, it sounds crazy, but USC, Michigan, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Florida, those schools have all combined been to Sanford Stadium once. So this is a big deal. And that it's a top 10 matchup. Under the Lights will probably be the #1 rated television program for college football, at least for some time here. This is a big game. It's a big moment for Georgia for sure. It's a big moment for Notre Dame. Notre Dame, last time we saw them, they were drooling in their corner after Clemson knocked the shit out of them. They did not look good in that game. We're going to see if Georgia can do something similar to that this coming weekend in 7 days. Dean Legge in very sunny and cloudless California. Go to dogpost.com for more takes and more information that you can't get anywhere else on the dogs. DAWGPOST.com.